Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths, the narcissist lost a precious jewel, and that's you. And they're losing their minds. They're losing their minds completely. But before I dig deep into that video, I want to bring to your attention that I'm running the OnetoOne Sessions again. If you want a more personal touch to help shed some light on the issues you're facing, a one-to-one session will be perfect for you. To book it, you just have to follow the link in the description box. Just a friendly reminder again, the Empath meeting group is coming up at the end of the month. That will give you a chance to meet fellow like-minded empaths. Same way you connect in the comment section. You'll just be connecting with each other on the phone or the computer or the laptop on a video call. So that's coming up at the end of the month. There is limited availability, so try to get your booking in as soon as possible if it's something that interests you. And lastly, if none of that's for you and you still need some additional support or some help, there is this crisis support email that I'm running now, and the link for that will also be in the description box, so thank you. But look, this narcissist lost their precious jewel, losing you, and they're absolutely, completely losing their minds. It's unreal. The thing is, with narcissistic abuse, with a narcissist involved in your life, is the devaluation is so catastrophic. You don't realize your worth at all. You see, you might have glimpses or you might have memories of the early love bomb and what they told you you were. You really need to embrace that. You know, that love bomb period is the truth. They had to do that. They had to behave in accordance to that way because there was no way you were going to let them in. You just wasn't. If they come up to you and said, "Hi there, I'm a narcissist. I like to devalue people, smear people, manipulate people. This is what I like to do," all of you would have ran for the hills. They knew they couldn't do that with you. They had to love bomb you. And the only way they were able to love bomb you to the extent that they did was because you are special, because you are a gift, because you are priceless. You know, you are honestly a true treasure and a true jewel, a real blessing to be in anyone's life, right? But through the course of the relationship, it's not that you lose value. Psychologically, they make you think you're worthless through the devaluation process. It's very subtle at first. You could have been going through an intensive love bomb. You know, everything was glitz and glamour, wonderful. And then one day they done some devaluation to you and it caught you off guard or went over your head. And you didn't really know how to process it because it was something so foreign to you, right? It was something so foreign to you. So you didn't know how to process it. But all you've got to know is however it ended, discard, reverse discard, or you were the one who even cut them off because it became too toxic. Once some time has passed, right? Just a little bit of time has passed. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. As long as you're in no communication with them or very limited, for example, if you have children, for example, you're just in the transition of when you're exchanging a child, you're having minimal contact with them or basically none, preferably. Obviously, you can't do that if you are attempting to co-parent with a narcissist that's involved in your life. I always opt for and tell you and inform you to do the parallel parenting route with narcissists involved in your life. You'll communicate through an app. You'll meet in a neutral location. It's what's best for you because you don't really want them rocking up to your house and stuff like that. So that's what you should do, especially if you've got younger children. But for the rest of you, if you've gone silent, you're not communicating with them, even if you had been the one that reached out with texts or phone calls and you were pleading for them and begging for them, don't worry. That was okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Let that pass. Let there be some time and space between yourselves. Let there be some distance between yourselves with this narcissist that was involved in your life. They will soon, quickly start losing their minds, because the fact of the matter is they are selfish in nature. Narcissists are very selfish in nature. So all of the blessings that you brought forward to them, they didn't appreciate it at the time. They only appreciate it after. And now I'm going to say something that may trigger you, but the same occurred when you got involved with them in their life. This narcissist involved in your life, when you got involved with them, there were some parts of their former supplies that they hadn't got over yet. So there were some things that they tried to make you do, right? I've heard people say things like, they'll just try and change your mannerisms, or they might try and change your appearance, or they might try and change, they'll try and change something about you very early on, during the love bomb possibly. And that's because they're not fully healed about losing you. But look, let's face it, time's passed, they've moved on, they've gone on to new supplies, however it ended. Now the same process occurs. Now they're not over you, right? So they'll start trying to change this new supply, which fails. Same way it failed with you. When they tried to make you change into a certain... You might have done it to a certain extent, but you didn't do it the full way, right? But the difference with you is you had a uniqueness about you, individuality about you, that made you special, that made you different, that made you rare, you know? And at first they knew they had that blessing. But like I said, they're selfish in nature. They don't appreciate, there's no gratitude. They don't give you your props, right? So time moves forward. They go through the devaluation, the smear campaign, the chaos, the betrayal. They go through all of that with you. And what they end up realizing is there's absolutely no way on earth they can get you back to that level of thinking that you were once plugged into, you know, that coherent, empathetic, loving, caring empath, you know. A lot of them have actually done some of the worst things to you. So they know it's virtually impossible to get you back to that place. And that's why they try to convert the supply source, right? This is them losing their minds, right? They try to convert the supply source who they're with their new supply. They try and convert them into you, but they also convert you from a primary source of supply into someone who they're trying to invoke negative supply from, right? Because they see that as something more obtainable. They think if they try to make you jealous, for example, let's bring up an example here. They try to make you jealous or envious, right? They're thinking that they can somehow win you back. That's why they act in this way. But what they're doing is they're putting more water between yourselves. They're putting more of a gap between yourselves. They're not actually bridging that gap. They don't know how to bridge the gap between yourselves. They don't know how to do it. They're just idiots, you know. In a normal relationship with normal, authentic people, you know, if someone does something wrong, they'll apologize. If someone does something wrong, they'll own up to their own faults. Mutually, they'll have an understanding. You know, vice versa. That's what they'll do. With narcissists, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that version at all. You're going to get someone who's very stubborn, who's very selfish, who's very ungrateful, who tries to make you jealous, who tries to post things on their social media or start parading down the street, arms in arms, holding your hands with their new supply, trying to make you jealous. That's what they'll do, right? You can't let any of that get into your heart. You know, you just can't let any of that get into your heart. But this process they're going through, they're losing their minds because they lost the precious jewel, which is you. You are so precious. You are so rare. You are so special. And they lost you. And it drives them insane knowing they lost you, right? Do not believe the facade that they're trying to paint. This picture they're trying to paint, how everything is perfect now. So many of you fall victim to that. They're not enjoying life now. No matter how much they're making it, no matter if they're going on lavish holidays, they're posting things on their social media, they're orientating their whole lifestyle to make you jealous. You are in their minds, deeply embedded in their consciousness. They are more comfortable around you. You ease their spirit. They're not with an empath now. Narcissists need empaths more than an empath needs a narcissist. Empaths don't need narcissists whatsoever. A narcissist needs an empath. They need an empath for supply. The supply they get from an empath is so potent. They don't find this anywhere else. And that's basically why they're losing their minds too. Because they don't have this potent supply that they once had with you. Wherever they are now in the world, whoever they're with now, they don't have that potent supply, right? It was a rarity for them even to come across you as an empath, right? But you were unawakened then. Now you're awakened then. What also drives them crazy is the fact that they know that you're awakening now, that you're no longer going to tolerate the abuse. You know, none of you stay stuck. Some of you do, but don't stay stuck, you know? Don't stay hurt and stuff. You know what you dealt with now. You know you dealt with someone who's very ill in the head. Very, very sick and demented. Right? They are seriously messed up in the head. Seriously screwed up people. You know what you've dealt with now. They were operating with a mask. They were trying to make you think that there was a version of them. You know, they tried to make you fall in love with a version of them, which was untrue. That version doesn't exist. You know, they're horrible, disgusting, despicable creatures, right? Horrible, disgusting, despicable creatures. So this narcissist lost their precious jewel with you, and now they're losing their minds. And they will continue losing their minds. That's why so many of you are going to receive Hoovers, have had Hoovers. You're going to get Hoovers in the future. You're going to get them. And these Hoovers don't just have to be positive Hoovers, like, oh, I miss you, or something like that. Can be in some cases. But it can be anything to invoke supply. It can be anything to have a connection with you. It could be trying to start drama, trying to start chaos. It can be absolutely anything. These Hoovers are not like declarations of love always, right? They're not always declarations of love. They're weird, okay? So they're going to try and do this because they're losing the plot. They're honestly losing the plot, all right? So that's why their behavior becomes so erratic. They're on a collapse now. I've made videos on the narcissistic collapse. They're on a collapse now. Right? You know, they are losing their minds. They are losing their minds. They're on a downward spiral. Look into the narcissistic collapse. Look into the narcissistic collapse. That's what happens after they lose the empath. They could have possibly already been on their collapse from the time you met them and you were just part of the process during their collapse. That's why they start abusing alcohol, drugs, and so can chosen ones and empaths, but narcissists do this as well. And they'll start doing risky behavior and stuff like that. This is what they do. They're losing the plot. They're going insane. They're demented. They're deranged, right? It's not easy in life without you. Just know that, right? Make sure you cut the cord. Make sure you don't communicate with them. Make sure you stay separate from them. And know that all of you collectively as a group of empaths can do a whole lot better. So anyway, like I said, if you'd like one-to-one sessions with myself, bookings are available. Link is in the description box. If you're interested in the empath group meeting that's coming up at the end of the month on the 30th, check out the link in the description box. And finally, if you would like some email support during a crisis, you can also contact me with the link in the description box. So anyway, if you'd like to check out this video, the narcissist lost their blessing. Sorry, the narcissist thought you'd never get over them. That's the one. The narcissist thought you'd never get over them. So anyway, I'll be back with another. Click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.